In this video, I'm going to show you guys how to play the perfect Aphelios game. Make sure you like and subscribe, and let's go.
Let's go!
Alright guys, today we're going to go over my Aphelios game in Masters where I use the following concepts to win the game. Contesting level 2, swapping guns for shoving, pulling the wave, committing to value, cutting your losses, trading with Infernum and Grav, and killing with the game state. If you guys don't understand any of these concepts, don't worry, I'm going to explain them all, so I hope you guys enjoy it. Alright, contesting level 2. So this might be kind of an obvious concept to a lot of you guys, but especially on Aphelios, your biggest weakness is actually being unable to use abilities level 1. And so when we get to lane, the first thing that we always want to do is that we're going to be looking to, at the very least, try our hardest to shove the lane and skill check our opponents. We want to ask them, hey, like, yo, are you going to contest my level 2? I don't have an ability level 1. Are you going to stop me from getting level 2? And you're going to look to see how they answer. And you're going to notice right here, the Jinx and Lulu fail to answer me, and instead I start pressuring the lane. I'm contesting the level 2 because I know that if I can get the level 2, my game will open up. And right there, the moment this occurs where we're both able to hit level 2, I know that as an Aphelios, I did my job. I skill checked my opponents and I said, okay, if you're not going to contest my level 2, I'm going to get there, and then the rest of the lane, I can actually play the game now. So you always want to get to lane and see what your opponents are going to do. Contest at level 2. But if you're losing it, back off. But it never hurts, just see if your opponents are smart enough to play the game on contesting level 2. Okay, so I did my job. But sometimes your supports are going to end. And so right here, my Blitzcrank, he goofed up. He dies, okay? Oh my god, my Blitzcrank just inted. But guess what? As an Aphelios, as an AD carry, newsflash, when your opponents are this low, the first thing you want to do is crash the wave and recall. So immediately I'm thinking about, what do I need to do in relation to what my opponents want to do? My Blitzcrank just inted, but what of my options, what can I do? And so right here, instantly, I'm thinking, get rid of my guns. I need to get to Infernum Grav, and I need to shove this lane out. So you're going to watch me get rid of my guns here, okay? I'm going to get rid of Severin and Calrum, and right here, look, I get rid of my guns. What does that let me do? That lets me instantly swap. And now I'm able to shove a full wave because these guns are so good at clearing. What this means is that while my opponents might be able to have an advantage, I have the potential to actually come back to lane as the same items as the Jinx. Watch, I have 2 longswords now to match this Jinx. Even though my Blitzcrank inted, I have 2 longswords to match the Jinx. Why? Because after my Blitzcrank ints, okay, the first thing I did was recognize the situation in which I have low ammo guns. Infernum Grav is good at shoving. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get rid of my guns, and then I'm gonna swap. So when the wave finally crashes and they recall, and I know they're gonna recall because they're low, I'm gonna be able to shove this wave back and also get a good recall while matching the same items as they have. Pulling the wave. So after you fully shut out your lane and your opponents decide to slow push the lane back into you, as you can see in this situation, this is after we fully shoved out the wave, we came back to lane, both have longswords. These guys are slow shoving the wave into us. Now, what you can do in the situation where the wave is getting slow shoved back into you is you can threaten to pull the wave. Now watch what I'm gonna do here, okay? I'm gonna pull the wave forward right here. And so what this does is it says, okay, you guys are double ranged into a engaged support Blitzcrank. If you want to fully get this wave in, I'm going to threaten to freeze on you, and if my jungler is here, you guys are going to get punished for it, okay? And this is a technique that you can always use to try to abuse people who are using a double range lane while you have an engaged support, because it is riskier for them to push up, because if they get engaged on, there's a pretty high chance they're going to die, right? So what I did there is I pulled a wave and I forced them to go ward, and I said, okay, you know what? If my jungler is here, it's risky for you guys. And so I've created more time where the lane is going to be in this situation, right? Now, they probably warded for it. My jungler wasn't here, so I ended up not getting as much value as I would have liked from it, but it's always really good to threaten to pull the wave. Now, when you are playing the wave and you're a lot stronger, you can definitely freeze it on them, but assuming that they are like, okay, we called your bluff, your jungler isn't here, it's okay to let them crash it, and you're going to see that I give up the freeze and the pulled wave because they're equally as strong as I am. And so I'm not going to get that much value from pulling the wave and like contesting it because I'm going to get hurt. But what you'll notice is that even just threading that and then creating a situation where the wave is going to be in a dangerous area for them for even a bit longer is a way that you can always threaten your opponent. And it's something to have in your arsenal of like, how can I win the game through my decisions? Committing to value. So the game has gone on and it's been pretty uneventful. But what you're going to see here is now my teammates are going to look to hard commit to this play, okay? Everyone flashes forward. And I'm looking at this play, and I decide to flash forward. Why do I decide to flash forward here? Okay, let's think about it. So what we see here is all my teammates have decided this Jinx must die, okay? We've decided that this Jinx needs to get punished, okay? So look at this. They trade up right here. We're like, Avengers, assemble. This Jinx must die, okay? We are all going to flash on her. So I see my teammates are heavily committed to this play, right? And so in my head, I'm always thinking about what needs to happen, okay? And if everyone is this heavily committed to the play, I recognize that if this Jinx gets out after we commit this heavily to the play, the map is no longer going to be in our favor because my teammates all commit to get value from this play, and if we're unable to get the value that we're looking for, we're all going to be at a loss. So if something within my power can change the outcome of this, I need to do that. So you'll see I instantly flash forward and I start going for my auto attacks, right? And I end up securing that kill. And that's so important to keep the rest of my team in the game because we all decided to make this possible. And so within my repertoire of like, do I flash forward for the kill? Yes, because I need to make sure that I commit to the value that my team is committing with. And because I know it's within my realms of what I can do, I'm able to make sure that we get the value from that play. Now, on the opposite end, we have cutting your losses. And so you're going to see a situation where my Blitzcrank is thirsty for a kill. And I'm like, yo, dude, you are absolutely crazy, okay? So watch this, okay? He hooks the Lulu. When we see the Kindred, and I'm saying abort, I start booking it. I'm like, yo, this ain't it. Now watch my Blitzcrank, okay? He is going to start pinging for help like a madman. Yo, Aphelios, dude! Yo, hell, he's pinging for help. I have no suns and I have no gun combos that will ever make us beat a Lulu and a Kindred or Dolti, okay? And he's pinging for help. Do not get baited, guys. It is time to cut your losses, okay? This Blitzcrank is pinging, but I gotta stay true to my instinct of saying, yo, this ain't it, okay? Abort. And it's so important to not get baited into those situations where your opponents are gonna get extra for the play they go for. There's no point in giving them extra kills. If someone is a lost cause, don't be afraid. Just be like, yo, I'm sorry. I can't commit to that play. We will both die. And I know he's probably like, oh my God, no follow-up. But you just got to cut your losses where you have to cut your losses, guys. Fighting with Infernum and Grav. So I don't play this fight perfectly, but I play it pretty darn well. And I'm going to let you guys watch the fight play out. And then I'm just going to talk about the breakdown as to why I played it the way I did, okay? So it starts with my Blitzcrank getting caught, of course, okay? Grav, autos, Infernum ult, and they get away just barely, okay? I'm going to speed it up. And I try to catch them, but thankfully my Nivea is going to stop by and force them to come closer to me, right? And so right here, I'm going to try to catch this Jinx out with a nice Infernum Q, and then he gets the finish, right? And so that fight was pretty crazy, but I also want to break down like the start of it where you guys can kind of see, well, how does Aphelios like to trade, okay? So first we're going to start with the classic Blitzcrank misses the hook, okay? Misses the hook, but we're going to trade back here, right? And so right here, at max range, I don't want to fight Jinx yet, but I know that I can get a little bit of damage if I go for an Infernum Q. I try to get both, but Lulu sidesteps it, okay? But you're gonna notice I get the Grav. And now I want to auto with Infernum because it's just gonna be a DPS fight. I'm gonna get more value from autoing with Infernum than Grav because it does extra damage to the first target it hits, right? And I'm also getting a good lineup. In this situation, instead of going for a Grav ult, I'm gonna go for an Infernum ult because it stacks targets in a fast-paced fight. Grav ult is really nice to use when the fight is gonna be extended, but when you need damage fast on stacked targets, there's no better ult than Infernum. So you're gonna see I go for an Infernum ult on them, okay? But I make the mistake of autoing Lulu here when I should still be autoing Jinx because I see Jinx is ulted. That doesn't matter, I should still be autoing Jinx here. Because it probably would have ended up leading to a kill, right? If I had one extra auto on her. And that's like why I say I don't play this fight perfectly, but I play it pretty darn well. See how Jinx goes away with one auto? That would have made a difference, okay? So Thankfully, my Nivea is going to come clean this up, and you're going to notice that I do hit her with the sly Infernum Q at the end of this. Why? Because Infernum Q has extra added range where you can go, so she's stunned, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to walk up for an Infernum Q. Extra range. Nice max range Infernum Q into Grav. That is the classic combo, okay? And that's a classic Infernum Grav fight. And I just wanted to break that down for you guys. It's nothing too spectacular, but understanding how those two guns play together is definitely a situation you're going to come across all the time in your game, so I just wanted to explain that to you guys. Killing with the game state. So I'm going to show you guys a play that I'm pretty proud of, and it's going to look like a really mechanical play where it's like, whoa, Remy, you outplayed them. And while it definitely is a mechanical play, what you guys are going to realize is it's actually more of a decision-based play. And so yeah, I died to Victor, but I want to explain to you guys why that's actually a decision-based play and not a mechanical play, okay? So let's look at the game state and how I can use it to my advantage, all right? So what you're going to notice here is that my Blitzcrank, oh man, this guy, what a juicer. He has been getting demolished all game, okay? So he is going to recall here. And they know that, okay? So they know that he's low, and he most likely has to recall. Once someone's below half HP, they're most likely gonna recall, okay? I'm just lifestealing off the goal. I'm thinking, oh my goodness, how in the world am I gonna play this game? But I got one thing going for me. Do you guys know what it is? I think you do. It's a classic double swap combo where we go red, white into green, white. And I know this, okay? But what else do I know that's going on in the game right now? This Jinx and Lulu want to trade aggressively and get this tower low while also punishing me because they know this Blitzcrank got low and he had to recall. Which means that these guys, in their minds, think they have a 30-second window to go ham on me, okay? But they forget I'm Aphelios, okay? I can go just as hard. So let's look right here. Look at how this Jinx is going to trade me, okay? And I know this Jinx wants to trade me aggressively. The game state says that this Jinx and Lulu want to punish me. But they don't know my characters while I know my character, okay? So I start this trade off with red-white, and I'm baiting her into the fight, right? And I know that even with that trade, they still want to trade aggressive with me because of the situation. So if I walk forward and put a tower down, they're going to still look for a trade, okay? They're going to still be looking to trade. And this is just what I want, okay? And I noticed that I'm able to get my tower to hit her, which is awesome for me. Next, I followed up with my ultimate. And this ultimate is going to time right there. And once I see this, this is when I know, yo, I won this fight. Why? Because I used the game state to my advantage to set this fight up. Now, it's easy money. I can go in for the cleanup. Once I see that ultimate land, that means I got all the damage I need. I can go in for the flash, and I can clean this fight up. And I'm going to obviously wipe them. And then I end up dying to Victor, yeah. But it's all about understanding the state of the game, what your opponents want to do, and then understanding what you can do to match that. Guys, if you enjoy this type of content, please like and subscribe, and then check me out on Twitch. It really means a lot to me, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.